The capital expenditure, because any company, unless they are not doing a capital expenditure for any project, any activity, so of course they cannot run a business very smooth way. Markup pricing, which is nothing but the cost plus pricing, whatever you studied. So slight variations we are able to identify, that's it. And third one, meeting the competition. If you want to meet the competition, of course, according to competitions only, you are setting a best price. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to one and all. I am Natesh, lecturer in Commerce, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU, the Temple of Excellence. So we are in the Unit 4, Section 3, first semester B.B.A. Marketing Mix. And today my agenda is pricing, meaning and definition, objective of pricing, the method of pricing, factor influencing pricing policy. Why pricing is very important? Because any marketers, if they try to go study for the concept like a marketing mix, so which is the elements what we are finding is a price which is generating a more revenue for company. So moving forward, the pricing is very important. The pricing is not only for just fixing a price. When they are fixing a price, they want to go for studying the different factors. Okay, the pricing is a process of determining the value of product and service. Whatever the product is made or producer produce the product which is finally going for the end consumption or getting usage for the customer's sake. Of course, you have to fix a best price. Okay, so in terms of money before it is offered to the market for sale. So the producer, whatever they are offering a product, finally they are fixing price for the product because the customer want to acquire the product, right? So that's what. So here the definition is the pricing definition here. According to W.J. Stanton, pricing is a function of determining the product value in the monetary term. I think you are all well familiar with the concept like marketing function. In the marketing functions, we are able to identify under supporting functions of the pricing, how it is, because which is one kind of functions we can say it is a marketing related. If anybody, any customers or consumer want to acquire product based on the price only, they are trying to, even the offer, the seller also they are selling with the help of price. Okay, so which is one exchange factors between the size price. In other words, the pricing refers to the managerial approach because the price is decided by the management. So that's what we can say, it is a managerial approach. Okay, so the decided by the task that involve establishing a pricing objective. Why you are fixing a price, or you are following certain objective which is related to price setting. Okay, so you each and every company are something unique, so they are setting their own objective. So towards even the pricing also related to the objective, what kind of objective they are setting for the price related. So, and identify the factors that the govern price, because you need to identify what kind of factors will be a governing for fixing a price. Ascertaining it's important. You need to calculate each and every stage. You have to ascertain when you're setting or when you're fixing a price. Okay, and determining the value and implementing it, because whatever the value what you studied based on the pricing objective, based on the strategy, based on the management approach, whatever you are trying to do, you have to go for determining the value in case of a cost of the product, in case of a different stage when it is moving from one place to another place. Even the company also want to get profits. Of course, you have to determine the value. Okay, so and implementing it. So best the pricing policy you are framing, which is towards company want to sustain for long period. You are fixing compared to competitors. Of course, you are trying to go for the implementing in the right time. Moving forward, objective of price. In any company, if they are fixing a price, they have a certain objective they want to satisfy, they want to fulfill. So the first one, achieving a target ROI. ROI is nothing but a return on investment. So any company, if they are offering a product, of course they want to invest in the initial stage. So whatever they initially invested, they want to recover with the help of price what they are charging. Okay, so every concern will have have an objective to achieve certain rate of return, because the company or now if you are not standing in the non-operating company or non-organization, they are non-organization means with the intention for serve for the society, which is one kind of charitable. So most of the company are always a profit motive, so that's what the pricing is. It is one kind of returns that they are getting from the price what they are charging here, return on the investment, and frame the pricing policy in order to achieve that return. Suppose you are expecting a 20% return what you are invested from the investment. If you are, suppose assume you are invested for 10 lakhs, you are expecting a return for around 10%, you are expecting a return or revenue generation with the help of price. So you the price objective what you are decided in advance, you have to be well familiar. Now second one, control cash flow, because we are able to identify there are two types of cash flow. One is inflow and outflow. Outflow means if the businessman is trying to go investing outside, so either they can invest for a fixed asset, either they can invest for the acquiring a building, okay, because why they want to construct the factory, why they want to invest a huge amount for the machinery, because unless investment it is not going outside, of course you can't get any benefit. So inflow means what we are generating from the sales, the turnover what we are recovering, okay, which is the coming, the cash is coming inside the company, okay. So there are two types of cash flow you have to remember. The capital expenditure, because any company unless they are not doing a capital expenditure for any project, any activity, so of course they cannot run a business very smooth way. So they need to depend on number of capital items like machineries, building, furniture, okay, because it is one kind of non-recurring nature. Of course you need to spend for the capital expenditure on any project. Any company, if they try to go for investment project, they try to go for the concept like a capital budgeting technique, which is a traditional technical modern technique just for evaluating either this project is generating a revenue or not, okay, within the frame time I can recover whatever I have invested in the early, okay. So that they are try to go for analyzing, must be recovered within the certain period. If I try to invest 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, how I can when I can expect my returns, okay, the slowly I can recover the returns with the help of price what we are setting. So that is also one kind of objective. Payback means today I paid, when I can recover. Payback is very nearest, okay. Suppose I have determined, I have clearly specified within 5 years my project will complete, okay. So within the 5 years if you try to recover whatever you invested in the early stage, so the payback period you need to calculate, which is related to the capital budget, okay. So the cash flow objective fit in the easily with other corporate objective, because the cash flow objective what you are setting or deciding, so the cash flow is there are two nature of activities we are doing, inflow and outflow. Outflow is going, inflow you are generating. So the objective which is towards the cash flow, so be clear. And next one, the price stability, you need to maintain a stable, so that's what you are charging a best price, okay. The pricing when they blindly, not even a single company, they are not fixing a blind pricing, okay. So the company with a stable price is a rank high in the market, because they are not fluctuating, they are not increase and decreasing every year, because they are maintaining a stable, so that you can capture, so that you can expect the sales from the market. So because you need to compete with others, so your stable price will be giving a guidelines for you. So a company formulate a pricing policy and strategy to eliminate a seasonal and cyclical fluctuation, because any businessman they want to go for the business cycles, how it is going on, okay, growth stage, introduction stage. So what the product life cycle, how you are studied with the concept like a product life cycle, even the business also having a life cycles, though they want to meet the life cycles which is related to business. So when you are maintaining a price stability, of course you can frame the policy which is related to, which is a guiding for the business cycles, a seasonal product, okay, seasonal and cyclical fluctuation you can avoid, okay. So that's what the pricing stability is very important, okay. Moving forward, now fourth one is achieving market share. Any company with the intentions to offer a product or service because they want to capture more and more consumers, okay, more and more customers they want to purchase. So capturing a market share, all the company are with the intentions to capture majority. If there is no any competitors are offering a similar product what I made, so of course you can expect a majority of sales. Unless you are not creating awareness, you can't capture the market share from the market. So any company, if you want to fix a low price, of course the customers are few customers are giving a importance for the product which is not there in the other competitors are not offering. So when a company assumes that the market share is below than the expected, any company if they want to sustain, okay, so the maturity level, the product life cycle, the maturity level are around 80% customers are purchasing or 60%. If expected sales what you decided in advance, so if you are now, for example, in this year you produce around 50,000 product, you are able to expect at least 45,000 or 50% whatever you produce the customers are purchased, means though there is no problem because your expected sales you based on the production is already done. Your 50,000 is ready for the market, the customers you are expecting. So here it can rise, it be appropriate pricing, and pricing aim at improving the market share, because the pricing what you're fixing blindly, you're not able to charge high price because you need to study other factors, even the competitors how much they are charging, okay, and other distribution channel, even the cost of the production, okay, so where you are exactly a standing market, okay, how many customers are showing interest to your product, everything is based on. So that's what which is completely depending. Now next one, prevention from the competition, because if you want to compete your competitor, you have to set a best price, low price compared to your competitor, okay. So the prevention is actually you have to study the concept which is related to competitor, because a similar product is available, okay, the competitors also are providing the same product. Of course you need to study the competitions analysis you have to do here. Pricing can be used as one of the effective means of fighting against the competition and business rivalry, because the pricing, most of the customers are giving a priority based on the price what you are charging, individual company are charging. The customer, if they want to accept or reject based on the price also, it is very important factor. So you need to study your business rivalry. Rivalry is nothing but your competitors here. So next one, win confidence of customer, because the confidence will be generating, you are expecting from the customer, because of charging a best price, affordable price, the consumers are ready to purchase the product, because the complete confidence you can build with the help of pricing policy. The phase of prevention is better than cure is equally applicable here, because any company, if they are charging a best price which is customers can acquire the product or purchase the product, because compared to most of the consumers are always thinking about the price sensitive customers we are finding, so always they are trying to go for the cheaper price product, okay, compared to your company they are always going for the cheaper product. They are bothering about the only price matter, okay, so that you can build good confidence here. So if competitors are kept away, no need to fight with them, okay. If there is not even a single competitors are providing the same, they are offering a similar product, they are not offering a similar product, of course you can fix whatever you think, okay. If there is any demand, of course you can focus. Moving forward, next one, the method of pricing. It's very expected question from the point of examination, okay. So here the two method of pricing method, one is cost oriented method and market oriented method. You must understand the cost oriented means the cost of the production, the cost of the product. Market oriented means which is completely depending on the market condition. So in the what and all which is related to market, which is coming under the market oriented methods. The first one, there are several methods of pricing product in the market, because different company they are adapting different pricing method, okay. We are not able to find out there is unique method or followed by entire business, okay. While selecting a method of fixing a price, the marketer must consider the factor affecting pricing. So any marketer, if they are fixing a price, they need to consider all the factor which is related to the fixing a price policy. Okay, the pricing method can be broadly divided into group cost oriented method and market oriented. Broadly we classified because there are different types of methods we are able to identify, but broadly we are classified into cost oriented and market oriented, which is related to cost, which is related to market oriented. The first one, the cost oriented method. It is the name only suggesting we are bothering about the company are always bothering about the cost factor. So because the cost provide the base for the possible price range, some firm may consider cost oriented method to fix the price, because in the production there are different stage, different activity, different process. Okay, indirect cost, direct cost, there are too many cost is incurred for the production. So the final product which is completely, when the company firm or fixing a price which is related to the cost, whatever it is paid by the individual company. Moving forward, under cost oriented method, the first one, the cost plus pricing. Cost plus pricing means what? So for example, the cost of the product is 100 rupees. Okay, so which is included raw material, labor cost, machine cost. So there are too many costs, direct cost, indirect cost, all other expense which is related to cost of the production. Now any company, if they try to fix one margin, now for example the total product selling price will be 120. So that is cost plus margin we are adding. Cost plus pricing involve adding certain percentage of the cost in order to fix the price, because you assume your cost of the production is only for 100 rupees. So can you sell for 100 rupees? Not possible, because the company also want to survive. They want to find a profit. So that's what they are adding certain margin or 20% or 10%. Okay, in this case they added for 20%, so the selling price will be 120. Okay, so here for instance, if the cost of the product is 200, because the cost of the productions will be 200, so okay, for unit, and the marketers expected 10% profit on the cost, because the cost is 200, 10% means 20, but finally they are offering for the consumers 220, then the selling price will be 120, because they want to get profit. Okay, so the difference between the selling price and the cost of the profit, difference between selling price is a 220, the cost of the price will be 200. Now the 20 rupees they are getting, that is a margin. Okay, so this method is similar of marketers can easily determine the cost and add certain percentage to arrive the selling price, because the selling price always included the margin, the profit is added. So you need to find out. So in case of selling price is given, the profit also given, the 20%. Now selling price is 120, the profit is 20. If you subtract, the cost price will be 200. Easily you can get it here. So moving forward for next one, markup pricing, which is nothing but the cost plus pricing, whatever you studied. So slight variations we are able to identify, that's it. So here the markup price, because any company they are locking returns they are expecting a return from the cost of the production, whatever it is happening per unit basis, they are trying to extract the value. So here the variation of the cost pricing, so in this case, the markup are calculated as a percentage of selling price. The mark, for example, the 10% what you are adding for the margin for the cost of the production. So finally, you are expecting a selling price because you are adding percentage. Okay, so and not as a percentage of the cost price, because cost price what we are expecting, the selling price cannot be same. The selling price what you are expecting, the margin it cannot be same. So which is company to company you are finding a variation. Okay, so firm that use cost oriented method use markup pricing. Okay, now third one, break-even pricing. No profit, no loss. No profit, no loss. So in this case, break-even point, which is directly related to fixed cost and variable cost. The fixed cost and variable cost, whatever it is incurred. So now the company intention, they don't want to loss. They don't want to get super profit. So they want to manage. So that's what they are charging. So in this case, the firm determine the level of sales needed to cover all the relevant fixed and variable costs. So they want to balance the fixed cost and variable cost. That's what they are setting a break-even price. No profit, no loss. The break-even price is the price at which the sales revenue is equal to the cost of the goods sold, because it will be, suppose the revenue sales generating 1 lakh, even the cost of the goods sold also 1 lakh. No profit, no loss. Okay. So in other words, there is neither profit or no loss. Neither profit or nor loss. Why? Because in the different situation, so if I try to place a raw material for this year, the cost of the raw materials, for example, 10 lakh. If I try to place the next year, okay, the cost of the raw material increase or decrease, it is completely depending on the supplier condition or market condition. So in case of if it is increase, if I have a raw material in the whatever I have purchased in this year, I can utilize for the next year as a raw material. So there is a slight changes we are able to identify. So next one, target return pricing. The name only suggesting we are expecting a return. We are focused for target. Okay, based on the price whatever I am fixing here. So in this case, the firm set price in order to achieve a particular level of return on investment. For example, my investment is 10 lakh. Okay, now 10 lakhs, if I try to set a target for 10% revenue or 10% return if I am expecting, of course, I can get, say now for example, 10 lakhs. Okay, now 10 lakh, 10% if you are targeting for the return, okay, how much I am getting? Divided by 100, okay, 200 cancel. So finally I am expecting a return is 1 lakh. So whatever I have invested for 10 lakh, I am targeting for 1 lakh return. So I just want to decide in advance, that's it. Okay, moving forward. So next one, early cash recovery price. Because early cash, word only suggesting a sentence. So the early, as soon as possible, I just want to recover whatever I have invested. So setting a best price to recover my cash inflow. So cash outflow, whatever I have invested. So some firm may fix a price to realize early recovery of investment involved. Because I have invested 10 lakhs, I just want to recover as soon as possible. If I try to normally, if I charge 100 rupees per product, so the same time I try to increase 150, so I can recover my investment as soon as possible. So that's what I am charging this cost, this price. When a market forecast suggests that the life of the market is likely be a short. In case of electronic goods, in case of passion item, okay, the customer mindset, they are always they try to go for the next passion, switching for the same customers are we are not able to focus, because the customer mindset will be keep on change. If the electronic market will be electronic product market is very span of time, so the time is very less, because the next generation, next product are coming. So I just want to push the product. So in this case, I just want to go for early cash invested, because any investment, unless if I'm not investing, either it is an electronic product or passion, because the customer passions will be keep on change. So I just want to recover whatever I have invested. That's what I just want to go for the selecting early cash recovery, because the electronic in the even the passion related product. So in case such as the case of passion related product and technology sensitive product, because most of the technology are outdating, because of outdating, so I am not able to focus more sales. So that's what I just want to push for in this year only. So in that case, I will select the early cash recovery investment pricing. Such pricing can also be used when a firm anticipate that the large firm may enter in the market in the near future with the lower price. Okay, so in that case, for example, I am the small businessman, I am just offering very limited. Okay, if there is any possibility, if I try to predict in advance, if there is an anticipation, any multinational company are offering a same category of product, same similar product, very cheapest price. So if I'm not trying to fixing a based on the recovery, early recovery, of course they are trying to capture. Okay, so the MNC company, if they are planning to come, they are planning to launch the same product in India. If I want to push my product, whatever it is there. Okay, so in that case, so forcing existing firms to exit. That means the good multinational company, when they are coming the same idea, same product, whatever you are operating, you are not able to overcome that competition's problem. So in that case, your company will be shut down, your exit. Okay, so in such a situation, the firm may fix a price level which could maximize the short term revenue and reduce the firm medium term risk, because in the when the company adapted in this pricing policy method, if they adapted, of course they can go for doing a activity very smooth way, because keeping in the future whatever it's happening, nobody can predict, but marketers, they can predict based on some assumption. Moving forward, so next one, under market oriented method, under market oriented, which is related to completely market oriented. So the first one, pursued value pricing, because unless the marketers are they are not start capturing the perception value from the customer or consumer. So here, which is related to the perception of the customers. So a good number of firms fix the price of their goods and service on the basis of customer pursued value, because the customers are very important. The customer basis only when the company are setting a price. So they are trying to collect value from the customers. The perception value is very, very important. So they consider the customer's pursued value as a primary factor of fixing a price, because the customer perception value, customers to customer, their perception value will be different from the customer. So we need to study as a marketers. So, and the firm cost has the secondary. The firm, it is completely second, which is the first priority we need to study based on the customer perception. Second, the firm, which is related to firm. Okay. So, in the same case, we can't give first priority for firm. Second priority, we cannot expect from the customer. So, first priority always for the customer preference. So, the customer perception can be fluctuated by several factors, because customers to customer, the tradition, wants, needs, expectation, preference will be keep on change. So, the perception factors we need to study here. So, such as advertising, sales on technique, effective sales force, after sales service staff, because few customers are expecting a after sales service. So even the advertising channel also influencing for the customers. Okay, so different sales force, either which is related to electronic goods, so the personal selling is more effective because compared to any advertising tool. Okay, so after sales, in case of electronic, the machinery, equipment, after sales is very important. So you have to study. So if customer pursued higher value, then the price fixed will be high, and vice versa, because the customer expectations will be keep on change from customers to customer. So which is the producer can fix a high price based on the value you are expected from the customers. Okay, now going rate pricing. Going rate, any company are offering, any firm is offering a product, similar product, you need to compete with your competitor. Either if the competitor, if it try to reduce the price, you have to balance, you have to reduce. If the competitors are increasing the price, you need to balance according to the market condition. So going rate pricing, in this case the benchmark for setting a price is a price set by major competitor, because you are studying, whenever you are fixing a price, of course you need to study the competitor, what they are following the strategy which is related to the price making. If a major competitors change its price, then the smaller firm may also change their price. Otherwise, they cannot compete, because the majority market share will be captured by those who are charging very cheapest price or compared to competitor. Okay, so irrespective of their cost of the demand, because you need to balance as well as the demand as well as supply. When you are studying the demand based on the supply, of course you are studying the supply based on the demand, so the completely which is depending to set for the price, best price. Moving forward, so here there are three factors. One is competitor parity method, and premium pricing, and discounting pricing, which is related to going rate pricing. So you have to study this one. Okay, now moving for third one, sealed bid pricing. Sealed bid pricing means which is related to auction. When we are getting a number of materials from the other country, nearest port, there is auction is made. There is two types. One is the English auction, which is ascending order followed, and Dutch auction, which is related to descending order. So here 1 to many, many to 1, the product can be auctioned, the price, finally the price will be sealed here. So that's what the sealed bid price means. Bid is related to the auctions, whatever it is going for doing a marketing between the buying and selling process in between the buyer and seller. This pricing is adopted in case of large order or contract. Because of large order contract, the open statement, the open new advertisement, no notification they are trying to give for the buyer and sell meet together one specific place, the large quantity or they are trying to purchase, so they are trying to go for the sealed bid pricing. Especially those of the industrial buyer and the government department. In case of government, they are trying to go for auction. Why? Because they are trying to quote best price what they are expecting from the seller. So if the firm submits sealed bid for job in the response to an advertisement, because any customer you are able to expect from the market, of course you need to create awareness, you have to educate them. So then only the customers and buyer and seller can meet one specific place. You have to make an arrangement for the right platform for the meeting a buyer and seller. Now, what are the factors influencing pricing policy? Because the different companies when they are offering a product and service to the end consumer, so they need to overcome the factors whatever it is related, so while they are charging. So first one is the cost factor. The cost factor, how it is influencing to fix a best price. So of course the cost of the product play a very vital role in the pricing policy of an organization, because the cost of the productions will be connecting with the different integral ingredients, you can say, either labor, raw material, machine, learning source, expense. So all are connected. Finally, we are fixing a price. We need to study all the cost of the production which is related. So by understanding the cost, marketers can judge profitability in advance. So if you are not studying the cost each and every stage, that's what there is one account which is the branch of account, you can say it is the cost accounting. They will ascertain each and every stage of cost. Okay, so they can move resource to highest profit opportunity, because if they are thinking unnecessary, I am wasting for the certain expenditure, if I try to avoid, I can increase or maximize the profit, they will get to know. So they try to go for maximize the profit. Make best use of available scarce resource, because if you are preparing a cost sheet, so you will get to know what and all the cost is paid by the production, related cost incurred for the production. Of course, I will get to know. So I just want to take steps to avoid the unnecessary resource which is not at all giving a revenue generation. By comparing the cost with those competitor, because we need to study even the competitor cost also, how much they are charging, how much I can charge, so I can decide here. It is possible to access production selection efficiently and estimate the relative profit each competitors can expect at a various price, because a different company, when the FMCG are comparing with the FMCG company are comparing with the FMCG competitor, FMCD company are comparing with the FMCD competitor, because they need to fix a best price. That is also one kind of factor influencing for the setting a best price. So next one, objective, because every company are setting their own objective, which is not same for all the company. Objective which is related to the customer satisfaction, objective related to capturing a market share, objective related to maintain a good quality, objective relating to serving the society. There are different types of objective when they are setting a price. So the pricing objective of the company will also crucial role in the pricing policy, because the company to company, I told you, which is a different, right? So that's why the pricing is based on the objective set by the company. The price whatever they are fixing for the product or service offered by the individual service provider or product offered by the any specific company, what is the motto, what is an objective towards. The objective of a company can be classified into the major objective, what and all, the maintain ROI. So any company, if they want to maintain ROI, that is one kind of objective here. And the second, the stability in the price. If you are stable in the market, if your price whatever you're fixing, you are stable in certain period, of course you can compete with your competitors. Okay, so if it is keep on increase or decrease, the customers are getting a lot of confused. Even the middleman, or they are not showing their interest to purchase your product, not placing their order. Okay, and third one, maximize profit. Most of the company, they want to get only maximizing profit. They are not bothering about the customer. They are not bothering for other factors. And third one, meeting the competition. If you want to meet the competition, of course, according to competitions only, you are setting a best price. Okay. So there are different types of objectives set by the individual company. So company may consider any one or more than the objective listed above before the pricing is fixed. We just consider only four have specified. There are too many objectives which is related to setting a best price. Next one, demand. So the factors which is completely, when you are setting a price, okay, factors like demand, how it is influencing for the pricing. Okay, so the demand is usually depicted by the demand curve, because the demand, you are trying to produce 1,000 products, if you are able to expect more than 1,000, okay, so of course it is the right time to increase the price. If you produce 1,000 product, but you are expecting a demand from the market only less than 1,000, means according to the demand only you are trying to balance. So the demand curve, it is based on the supply. The supply, it is depending on the demand. Marketer use the curve to estimate the change in the total demand of a product based on the differing price. Because if you, unless you are not expecting a demand, of course you cannot fix a best price. So if you are expecting more demand from customer, you can increase your price. You are expecting low demand from the customers, of course you can reduce your price. So according to situation, the price will be keep on varied. Elasticity is measured and price is decided based on the type of elasticity. The price elasticity we studied, income elasticity we studied in the economic concept. So which is related, the changes whatever it's happening, the degree of changes, according to degree of changes we need to decide the best price. So now competition. Now competition, you can say it is a competitors. Why the competition it is influencing for the pricing? Of course, because we are not standing in the monopoly. We are not railway department. We are only one service provider. If you think that is okay. So in case of perfect competition, oligopoly competition, you need to compete with your competitor. Of course, you need to study, you need to consider the competition. So determination of price is influenced by the present and potential competition, because the competition cannot be a constant forever, because whenever you are offered that time there is no competitors. In the future you can expect competitors are offering a similar product. Of course you're facing a competitions between your competitors, so you need to modify your pricing strategy. The competitor's price help the firm to setting its price, because your product, when you are comparing, you are studying with the competitor, you are trying to go for comparison. Okay, so you are fixing a best price what they are charging, so of course you can survival. The company should carefully study the competitor price and the consumer reactions towards the each competitor's offer, because unless if you are focusing to capture majority of shares from the customer, of course you have to set a best price comparing with your competitor. Okay, so once they capture, getting a customer is very difficult. That's what the starting stage only you need to fix the best price, then only you can expect the expected sales. Okay, moving fifth one, distribution channel is very important. Any marketing department, any company, unless they are not bothering about the distribution, of course they cannot focus. Okay, so goods are made available to the consumer through middleman. In case of the industrial goods, we are directly approaching for the industrial requirement customer. In case of FMCG, so through the proper channel only, the flow from the production point to end consumption, we need to depend on the middleman. Even the middleman also expecting a margin from the company product. Of course we need to bother distribution channel. Even the transportation, warehouse price, okay, storage cost, everything we need to consider here. Each one of them has a compensated for the service render, because the middleman is not rendering a service free of cost. He is not expecting, he is expecting a margin, or he is expecting a return or revenue from the individual company, whatever they are trying to do the activity which is related to marketing. So this compensation should be included in the ultimate price of the consumer play, because whatever the company are charging, they need to consider all the factors, then only they can overcome, they can fix a best price. Moving forward, now sixth one, government. The government intervention we are able to identify without having excise license, without paying excise duty, custom duty, GST, CGST, IGST, whatever it is related to offer a final product for the end consumer, the tax related, the living tax, the finally which is included in the product. So that is also very important factors here. The government inference such as control of price, because most of the company directly are influenced by the government. How? Because whenever they are setting a price according to the standard made by the government, they want to fix a best price. Okay, they can't fix without following a government guidelines. Okay, the rules and regulation whatever they made. So levying of tax, levying tax means imposing a tax. You are collecting a tax. So the government will collect the tax, will also influence pricing policy of an organization. So you need to study whatever the government, how their interference. Okay. If government increase the tax, your product cost also increase. If the government has reduced, of course you are able to identify decrease in the product price. Okay. So the ultimate consumer will have to pay more for the product due to the increased tax component added to the price, because the government in case of luxury product like car, okay, so the cost of the product is high. Even the road tax they want to pay, GST also they are charging. So almost all the cost, finally the ultimate consumer want to bear the cost. Okay. So next one, economic condition. Economic condition means economic related concept, demand, supply, elasticity, inflation, deflation, okay, the scarcity, whatever which is related, you need to, as a marketers, as a producer, they want to study the condition of economy. Okay, so economic condition prevailing in the country influencing price fixation. The economic condition, for example, highly developed country or developing country or underdeveloped country, the lifestyle will be which is compared to the economical condition basis only, the company are charging a best price. Okay, so usually price are rise during the inflation. The price will be rise during the inflation. Currency rate will be increased due to inflation because of the increase in the cost. Okay, during the period of depression, the price are reduced or survival become the problem, because the most of the product you are getting a subsidy. Most of the consumers are getting subsidy, which is related to agriculture product. In case of luxury product, in case of fashion goods, okay, the cost of the product will be increased. So you need to identify the condition, economic condition, where exactly, okay, the developed country, they are ready to fulfill whatever their requirement. Okay, so moving forward, now eighth one, ethical consideration you need to, because if a businessman, they are following a business ethic, okay, even the professional, they are trying to follow the professional ethic. When ethic which is related to society, of course you don't have any producer, they don't have any rights to damage the society, you need to bother. Okay, so the sometime the company may sell certain product not for making profit, but as a public welfare measure, because every company are offering a product with the intentions to fulfill the consumer's requirement. So you need to study the public welfare. Okay, you need to keep certain measures. For example, company may sell certain life-saving drugs, because the company, the consumer themselves, they can't invent the product. Of course, they want to depend. Okay, so in that case, the company or they want to bother, they are studying the life-saving drugs. Okay, and vaccine at a price. See, in case of COVID-19, if you take the cost of the product, the cost of the medicines will be high. When the company, when the country is facing a scarcity, we are getting from the other country, the cost whatever they charge, we need to bother. But then also government are supported, of course we need to thank, which cover only the cost of the production, which cover only, they are not making any profit, but they are just covering the cost of the production. Understood? Now next one, the types of buyer. In the different geographical area, different types of buyers we are able to identify. You need to study carefully buyer. So price fixation in the large dependent on the types of consumer, because the different types of consumers we are able to identify. Suppose if you take a high level income group, they are not going for the low quality, they are always going for the premier product. Okay, the grade wise they are giving priority. So different buyers may have different motive and value, because the different customers, their motive is different, their value is different, their perception value is different, their expectation is different. Quality and safety, status and symbol and beauty are the four different consideration of buyer can observe, because not only these factors, apart from these factors, there are too many factors. Those who are very keen interested to their health consciousness, or they are ready to spend a health product. So they are those who are beauty conscious, means they are trying to purchase which is related to beauty. So everything which is varied, different consumers we are able to identify. Thus the pricing decisions is based on the perceived value of the customer, because whenever the company are fixing a price, before that they try to understand, they want to study the concept which is related to consumer perception value. Okay, moving forward, so product differentiation, product to product we are able to identify, we are able to differentiate, right? So here the product differentiation also varied. Okay, so the product differentiation is one of the marketing strategy to reach the many customer, because product to product, something unique features we are able to identify, design wise, shape wise, color wise, quality wise. Many product can be differentiated in the form of size, shape, color, coating and physical structure. Based on this factor, price also vary. Not only these factors, apart from this, packaging, labeling, container, storage, so everything which is related to the product differentiation. Keep on watch for next section. Thank you.